The weather isn't just small talk, it shapes our lives from what we wear to how we travel. Every day we make countless decisions based on the weather forecast. Should we carry an umbrella, wear a coat, or perhaps cancel that picnic? These choices might seem trivial, but they add up, influencing our daily routines and overall lifestyle, and even what we eat. Farmers rely on weather patterns to plant and harvest crops, ensuring that our tables are filled with fresh produce. A sudden frost or unexpected rain can disrupt this delicate balance, affecting food supply and prices. Sometimes, the weather shifts dramatically, affecting entire regions for weeks. These changes can bring about severe storms, prolonged droughts, or unexpected cold snaps, each with its own set of challenges and consequences. These big changes are what meteorologists track closely, as they can signal storms, droughts, or cold snaps. By analyzing data from satellites, weather stations, and computer models, they can predict these shifts and provide crucial warnings. Understanding these shifts is crucial for everyone, farmers, travelers, and families alike. For farmers, it means protecting crops. For travelers, it's about planning safe journeys. And for families, it's ensuring comfort and safety at home. Right now, Europe is facing one of these major atmospheric reorganizations, and its effects will be felt by millions. This isn't just a passing weather event, it's a significant shift that could impact everything from agriculture to daily commutes. Being prepared is key, and that's why we break down these patterns for you. By understanding the science behind the weather, you can take proactive steps to protect yourself and your loved ones. When we spot a risk, like flooding or a cold snap, it gives communities time to get ready. This preparation can make a significant difference, reducing damage and ensuring that everyone stays safe. This isn't just science, it's about your safety, comfort, and even your wallet. Weather impacts heating bills, travel plans, and even the cost of groceries. By staying informed, you can make better decisions and avoid unnecessary expenses. The atmosphere is sending signals, and our job is to interpret them. We use advanced technology and expert analysis to decode these signals and provide you with accurate forecasts. As we dive into this week's major pattern change, remember, this is your weather story, unfolding now. Each shift in the atmosphere tells a story, and by understanding it, you can navigate your world more effectively. We'll explain the science, what's driving the shift, and what you can expect in your part of Europe. Let's get started. Stay tuned as we break down the latest weather patterns and what they mean for you. The North Atlantic Oscillation, or NAO, is the engine behind Europe's weather shakeups. Picture it as a giant seesaw between the Icelandic low and the Azores high. The NAO measures the pressure difference between these two systems, flipping between positive and negative phases. This phase controls the jet stream, the fast-moving air that steers storms across the Atlantic. When the NAO shifts, it changes the entire weather pattern for Europe, from stormy to calm, or mild to cold. And right now, the NAO is about to flip, setting the stage for a dramatic change. In a positive NAO, the seesaw tilts steeply, strong Icelandic low, powerful Azores high. This creates a straight, fast jet stream, sending storms racing into northern Europe. The result? Windy, wet, and mild weather for the UK, Ireland, and Scandinavia. Meanwhile, southern Europe enjoys dry, sunny conditions under the Azores high's protection. It's a classic north-south split: raincoats in the north, sunglasses in the south. This pattern has dominated much of autumn, with only brief interruptions. But now, the atmospheric seesaw is tilting the other way. The positive NAO is ending, and a new weather regime is about to take over. Get ready for a complete reversal. Enter the negative NAO, where the pressure difference between Iceland and the Azores weakens, setting off a chain reaction across the continent. This subtle shift in atmospheric pressure might sound technical, but its effects are anything but subtle for millions of Europeans. The jet stream, which usually flows in a relatively straight line, now becomes wavy and blocked. Instead of steering storms quickly from west to east, it starts to meander, creating stagnant weather patterns that can linger for days or even weeks. Northern Europe, which is often battered by wind and rain, suddenly swaps those relentless storms for colder, drier conditions. The skies clear, the air turns crisp, and the landscape transforms into a wintry scene much earlier than usual. As high pressure builds over Scandinavia and the Arctic, cold air spills southward, blanketing cities and countryside alike. This influx of Arctic air can bring frosty mornings, icy roads, and a sudden need for winter coats and scarves. Meanwhile, the storm track, the path that low-pressure systems usually follow, shifts dramatically to the south, bypassing the north and setting its sights on the Mediterranean. This opens the door for Mediterranean countries to face heavy rain, flooding, and even severe weather events. Streets that were sun-drenched just days before can quickly become rivers, and communities must brace for the unexpected. Southern Europe, which often enjoys a protective barrier from storms, loses that shield. The skies darken, and the region becomes vulnerable to the kind of slow-moving, moisture-laden storms that can cause real damage. These storms can linger, dumping inches of rain in a short time, overwhelming rivers and drainage systems, and leaving behind a trail of disruption. This is when flash floods and landslides become real threats in places like Italy, Greece, and the Balkans. Emergency crews are put on high alert, and residents must stay vigilant as the weather can turn dangerous with little warning. The weather script is truly flipped, calm and cold in the north, stormy, and unsettled in the south. It's a dramatic reversal that can catch many off guard. The switch from positive to negative NAO is the headline this week, and it's a change that meteorologists are watching closely. It's not just a blip on the map, it's a fundamental shift in the way weather systems move across Europe. The patterns we've grown used to, mild, wet in the north and dry, settled in the south, are about to be replaced by something much more volatile and unpredictable. For millions, this means a new set of weather challenges. People will need to adapt quickly, whether it's digging out winter gear in the north or preparing for heavy rain and possible flooding in the south. The stage is set for a dramatic second half of October, with nature reminding us just how dynamic and interconnected our weather can be. So, as we watch the NAO flip, let's see what's coming next, and how Europe will rise to meet the challenge of a brand new weather script. As of mid-October, the transition to a negative NAO is underway. High pressure over the UK and Ireland is breaking down, opening the door for Atlantic storms. The Azores high is weakening, the Icelandic low is fading, and the jet stream is buckling. A deep trough is pushing east, eroding the calm, and bringing a dramatic weather shift by the weekend. Interestingly, while the NAO index is negative, the immediate pattern still looks stormy for Western Europe. This transition is dynamic and unpredictable, but the calm is over. A much more active, unsettled period is beginning, with different regions facing very different risks. The dry spell in the UK and Ireland is ending fast. High pressure is retreating, and Atlantic storms are lining up to move in. By the weekend, expect a return to wet, windy weather, classic autumn. Rain will be heavy at times, with local flooding possible, especially in already saturated areas. Winds will pick up, making it feel colder than the thermometer suggests. Waterproofs and wellies are a must, as this unsettled pattern looks set to dominate the rest of October. The quiet interlude is over. Brace for a boisterous Atlantic-driven autumn. While the north gets wind and rain, the Mediterranean faces a much more dangerous threat: flooding. Warm sea temperatures and incoming low-pressure systems are a recipe for torrential rain and flash floods. Sardinia, Corsica, and southern Italy are first in line, with the threat spreading east to the Balkans and Greece. Another potent system could develop off North Africa, renewing the flood risk for the central Mediterranean. These slow-moving storms can dump huge amounts of rain, causing landslides and widespread disruption. For the Mediterranean, this is a volatile, high-risk pattern that demands vigilance. In Eastern Europe, the story is persistent cold, not storms. A northerly airflow is locking in below-average temperatures from Poland to Russia. It'll be mostly dry, but daytime highs will struggle and frosts will become widespread. The boundary between cold east and milder west could bring rain or even early snow to Central Europe. This isn't a brief chill, it's a prolonged pattern, so residents should prepare for an early taste of winter. One atmospheric shift, but profoundly different impacts across the continent. Europe's weather is being reshaped by a major atmospheric shift. This isn't just a passing trend, it's a fundamental change in the way our climate behaves, and it's affecting millions of people across the continent. From the windswept coasts of Ireland to the sun-baked hills of Spain, no region is untouched by these evolving patterns. The North Atlantic Oscillation, or NAO, is at the heart of this transformation. When the NAO flips, it's like a switch for Europe's weather. The West faces relentless storms and powerful winds, while the South contends with torrential rains and sudden floods that can disrupt daily life and damage infrastructure. Meanwhile, the East is plunged into deep cold, with snow and ice, making travel hazardous and putting extra strain on energy supplies. These regional differences highlight just how interconnected, and yet varied, Europe's climate can be. Understanding these patterns isn't just for scientists or weather enthusiasts. It empowers all of us to anticipate, not just react, to what's coming. By recognizing the signs early, we can better prepare for whatever nature throws our way. This knowledge gives emergency services and local communities precious time to get ready, whether that means reinforcing flood barriers, stocking up on supplies, or warning vulnerable neighbors. Preparation can make the difference between a close call and a disaster. Weather forecasting isn't perfect, but understanding the tendencies and patterns helps us make smarter choices every day. Farmers can plan their harvests, travelers can adjust their routes, and families can stay safe at home. The weather you experience is just one piece of a much larger, interconnected puzzle. Each storm, each sunny day, and each cold snap is part of a broader story unfolding across the continent. By seeing the whole picture, we all become more weather-wise. We learn to read the signs, understand the risks, and take action before it's too late. In a world of growing extremes, where heat waves, floods, and snowstorms are becoming more frequent and intense, this knowledge is more important than ever. It's not just about staying comfortable, it's about staying safe and resilient in the face of change. So, stay safe, stay informed, and keep watching the skies. The more we understand, the better prepared we'll be for whatever tomorrow brings. Thanks for joining us.